I want to say, last time we had you on the podcast, I don't think the Traveling Suitcase was officially back together.
No, we hadn't
playing
even.
shows
It
yet,
was
so.
something that I was just having like fantasy dreams about.
Yeah.
I said midnight dreams, like living in Colorado. Oh yeah, last time I saw you guys, I was living in Colorado and just being like, I'm playing drums in a bunch of projects, and life is really good. Life is really good in Colorado, but life's really good here too. So there's a ladder everywhere. Yeah, we saw the Chili Peppers in Colorado, like their first show back with John Frusciante on the tour, and it was kind of I looked at my wife and was kind of like, if I ever get music, if I'm gonna do the Suitcase, I think someday again. Like, man, this is some good rock and roll music. This is good. So I had a feeling the band would eventually get back together. If I told her, I said if we ever made it back to Wisconsin, that I would do it.
Yeah.
And then within like 3 months, a lot of stuff had kind of happened, and we were on our way back home, and I was like, huh.
Welcome, fellow lushes. Come on in, pull up a bar stool, and enjoy some cocktails with Dimples and the Beard.
We don't have a bar light behind us either.
That's all right.
Tavern is open. Woo.
You got the Elk Foundation,
Sponsored by the Elk Foundation.
Baraboo Range. We're shooting some guns.
early morning edition.
We've been looking for a sponsor, so maybe they'll be it.
Get a.
Maybe they'll be it.
Hey, we'll take it. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning to a
It's late
special
night, but welcome to Cocktails.
chill morning edition. Cocktails. with
We're
Dimples and the Beard.
blessed with the Traveling Suitcase.
Blessed.
Hey,
We're blessed.
I feel blessed
We're blessed.
to be here. Thank you.
Blessed to wake up.
Nicholas and Nate, they were nice enough to stop by, jam, a little jam later. I'm thinking. But other than that, let's see what the heck you guys are up to these days.
Just a lot of shows. This festival season was really fun. We had a lot of fun at Mile of Music. Life's really good. We've got a show at West Bend Theater coming up, and we've got a release show after that. A Pride Fest we're playing. September is looking to be really fun.
Nice.
Okay.
Where's the Pride Fest?
Pride Fest is gonna be like I think it's in Green Bay or like De Pere-ish area.
Okay.
So
And then your record release party's at the
Appleton Beer Factory. Yep. And then the week before that, so September 9th. I know, I was like September 9th, we're at Bare Bones Brewery with Feed the Dog and Horace Green, and that's like a Fox Valley like Oshkosh breakfast special.
Nice.
Is that in the morning too?
Yeah, no, it's not in the
Oh.
morning. It just seems like a nice breakfast platter. Like
Okay.
feed the dog. Ooh, speaking of breakfast, here comes your breakfast, guys.
There we go. Breakfast is served.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We thought we'd
Cheers.
Cheers.
couldn't do an episode without a cocktail.
No, no.
Oh,
So
That's
there we go.
you have to do. You have to represent what you do, and this is,
This is our brand.
So we
that is your brand.
Whoa.
probably had
Ooh, what's-
enough cocktails last night to make up for today, but whatever.
I need a Pop-Tart cocktail.
Mm.
Pop-Tarts were delicious.
They were.
The
I did
Pop-Tarts.
not try one.
It's okay. They were lethal.
Were they?
I mean, I slept really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the kind of Pop-Tarts that you wake up with. The kind
No.
of Pop-Tarts that you go to bed with.
Not for children.
Sleep
For
tarts.
sure. Sleep tarts.
Sleep charts.
Did you have the blueberry? Or strawberry?
It was only strawberry because we just brought
Oh.
the 3 big ones and it was all strawberry.
Gotcha.
I was like,
Wait,
wait,
There's
really? There's flavors.
There are, but they're
You need to
hidden
bring-
safely away in my freezer. So
Where do you live?
uh,
Just kidding.
Well, yeah,
Delicious.
curious how they spread out because
They
the
do.
butter and
They
whatnot.
delicious.
All right.
They delicious. Anyway, September 9th at Bare Bones, the breakfast platter that's at dinner time, breakfast all day with Feed the Dog, Horace Green, and then the Traveling Suitcase will play. So
is that Bare Bones in Menasha or
in
one
Oshkosh.
Okay, no.
Yep, Oshkosh Brewery. And then September 16th, we're going to be at the West Bend Theater, and we're going to do this collaboration with Natural Satellite. And that's the duo who's married, who has amazing kids. And they play a saxophone, cello mix, but we're going to do like a collaborative. So we're going to jump on some of their stuff. They're going to jump on some of our stuff. And that's at West Bend Theater, September 16th. And then September 22nd is the new Pride Alive that's in the Green Bay area. And I think we're playing with Cat and the Hurricane, and they're from Madison area. So I'm really stoked to get on that. I'm stoked to get on like more queer showcases and kind of meet more people in that DIY scene as well. We've just been having really good time. And then the day after New Pride, we'll do the album release at Appleton Beer Factory, and then
24th,
or 23rd. 23rd. Yep.
right, 22nd. Gotcha.
23rd.
Nice.
At Appleton Beer Factory. So we've got a fun September ahead. Very much.
We were talking with PETA recently from Unity, and your name came up. He was talking about wanting to organize like the biggest and baddest Pride Fest in the Appleton area with you, trying something going like that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, I haven't talked to PETA in a long time.
Yeah.
It's good to know. I was like, at least
A couple weeks ago.
He's so nice. He used to host these really big jams at Glass Nickel in Oshkosh back in the day with like John Wheelock, and that's how I met all those guys. I just remember PETA just like hanging out, and like he was always just like eating something and really happy. Just like really happy.
He is a happy soul.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he spoke very highly of you, and was
wow.
So
that's great. Well, I have nothing but good things to say about.
Yeah.
I was
well,
like,
these guys just worked with him for
helped us
Rock and Corn Fest.
Cool.
Yeah, Peter's the one that helped us get going and helped us with signing up the bands.
That's great.
Yeah, it was awesome. And like you said, he's wonderful to work with.
Yeah.
You know,
he's just a really.
It'd have been hard without him.
What's up?
It would have been hard without him.
Well,
for us
yeah.
to put it together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So.
Yeah, he's always been nothing but like helpful and just wanting to like bring joy and music to any space that allows him to do that, I think.
Yeah, that's nice thing.
That's why I like to go to music.
Yeah.
Just joy, right?
Well, yeah,
I was
like, that's the point. It's almost the unity.
That might make a good deed.
I want to say, last time we had you on the podcast, I don't think the Traveling Suitcase was officially back together.
No, yeah, it was something that I was just having like fantasy dreams about, just like midnight dreams, like living in Colorado. Oh yeah, last time I saw you guys, I was living in Colorado and just being like, I'm playing drums in a bunch of projects, and life is really good. Life is really good in Colorado, but life's really good here too. So there's a ladder everywhere. We saw the Chili Peppers in Colorado, like their first show back with John Frusciante on the tour, and it was kind of, I looked at my wife and was kind of like, if I ever get music, if I'm gonna do Suitcase, I think someday again. Like, man, this is some good rock and roll music. This is good. So I had a feeling the band would eventually get back together. If I told her, I said, if we ever made it back to Wisconsin, that I would do it.
Yeah.
And then within like 3 months, a lot of stuff had kind of happened, and we were on our way back home, and I was like, huh. And then we jammed out. I had some solo shows under Nicholas Raymond stuff, and then Todd Bulkey jumped on some of that, and then we played some Suitcase stuff, and he was like, wouldn't it be fun if maybe you revisited and I was like, yeah, it'd be great. It would be great, wouldn't it? Now, Nate, who played in one of Brandon's bands back in the day called Kilroy. I mean, Nate's always kind of been on the side of things with what we're doing for the whole band's existence. He's made a lot of our videos, played guitar on the last release that we had as well. So, it's just a good fit. Rearrange some things a little bit, but it's good. It's good. Everybody that's involved right now wants to be here and loves being here. And we've had like a summer that the summer that like I fantasized about having as like a kid, being like, I want a band and I want to do this. And the whole summer has just been a dream.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Well, I mentioned to you last night, I saw the picture from some of the pictures from Mile Music in your crowd at Houdini Plaza.
Yeah, the Houdini Plaza crowd is something that I'm like, well, that's like etched in my memory forever. That was really cool. Climbing the drum throne for that, I was just like, I had to take a video and save it. And every once in a while, I'm just like, I'll rewatch it to be like, that's real, right?
Yeah.
It happened. It was awesome. I think, the Traveling Suitcase has always been really grateful to Milo Music and like that whole scene and like just kind of breaking out with Milo Music when Milo Music first started as a band and then full circle 10 years later. You know, yeah, it's beautiful. It was like, this is what we've done in 10 years, you know, and like the people that I've met, you know, through Milo Music, some of those people were fans originally of Milo Music, and now they're some of the most hardworking people involved in the festival. And you know, like it's just neat to see like how the community has really changed in 10 years, and we really support each other. And the Appleton community is just
Appleton looks forward to it every year.
yeah,
It's like
Appleton's
embrace it.
yeah, it was. I think it was really big this year, and I thought they did really good, and everything was executed really wonderfully. And I would love to see a little bit more local bands. I know that Milo Music is doing their best to like diversify and do the best they can, but I was like, don't gentrify.
Right.
Diversify, but don't
Right.
gentrify it because it's still a local roots festival. So don't get,
Yeah.
you know, that was my only thing where I was like,
Yeah,
But-
make sure the good local talent gets to
well, and
play.
that's
Yeah.
that's where, and I hope that always continues to happen because you know, Suitcase is one thing, but I would even be like grateful to say we'll take a year off if you let another local band in,
Sure.
you know,
Sure.
because I want to see the same kind of response that we get for other people around this area. They deserve it just as much. So
I
That's
did see
cool.
a
That's
Milo band from Oshkosh.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do not remember the name of it. But that was one from UK. I did. Have they done that before? Brought bands from the UK?
yeah, I mean they've
Oh,
all over the
I know.
place. Yeah, there's
But the
yeah.
States, but I didn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like worldwide they've kind of always been like that. And it's just growing, which is great. I think that we should
Right.
I think that's an amazing thing to showcase how cool of a music, you know, like
Right.
supporting of a community that we
came
have.
over.
And yeah, absolutely.
Did not know that. Um, I
I
don't even
know.
know this last night. I was a little messed up.
Oh, we're all recovering. Yeah. I was like, we're recovering.
Yeah, yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some pauses. My brain's definitely not firing at 100% this morning.
I mean, that's okay.
I did learn that I am gonna be a death metal thrash singer for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So,
Dean sang with the Suitcase last night. It was wonderful.
well, I was singing the wrong song, but
Right.
for some of it, because the fire part to me sounded like Firewoman from the Cult, and I was singing it that way. So I was totally the wrong song, but
Totally went with the wrong song.
It worked
But
out.
It worked out.
Yeah.
Started nice and mellow, and
there's video to prove it.
I was horrible.
Maybe we can show some of that video on this little podcast, and I'm down for that. You can show it off, which we will gladly show you now.
My love for you. Like crying music. What do you got there for when somebody cries? There you go. I want to cry. Now hold on. You can't cry. I'm on a rocking horse.
I feel like doom metal is probably more your thing than REM.
Thank you for letting me on this platform tonight.
And we're back.
Get your editing skills going, buddy.
I got, I'll get
I
it.
don't know that we want that in the world.
We do.
Nah, what the heck?
Just for
Why not?
He's like, I want everyone to know I'm a rock
I
star.
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone needs this is my moment, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
I'm gonna-
how bad I wanted it.
Believe me, when I edit that, I'm gonna clean up the audio, make sure just my voice is highlighted. We're
Take
gonna let
mine
the world
out.
know. Yes, we're gonna let the world know. They can growl for
Too long. Way too long.
Was it way too long?
No, I don't know. And in the
It
moment, it was
great.
perfect.
It was great.
Yeah.
Everyone had a really good time.
At the moment, it happened.
See, that's
It
the
was
thing. You can't. Music is like that. You can go, God, did I go too hard? Did I have too much fun? No, you did not have too much fun.
You
Because
can't
the
go
thing
too
that you're,
hard.
yeah, it was like the thing that you're beating yourself up about. No way, man. If everyone had a good time, that's the best thing. Don't focus on that. Focus on if everyone had a good time. People will remember having a good time.
I'm not beating myself up at all. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Good.
perfect. Absolutely.
Good.
It was a great
Good.
night.
He
It was
can't
a
bring me
great-
down.
Good.
Silence me. You're gonna mute me.
Been trying for
Bringing it on.
130 episodes. You can't bring me down.
That's crazy. That's it. Good shows coming up. Is it an EP? Or regular?
EP. Yeah, there's
Okay.
an
Just wanna
EP.
Make sure it's coming out.
EP.
It's not
EP.
Phone
Phone home. EP.
All new
Phone
songs
Home.
coming out. Tell me anything where the songs came from.
So some of these are rehash, and then some of this is like stuff that's never been released. So there's 6 songs, and it's called Basement Tapes. And we made it in Brandon's basement, and we edited it, mixed it, everything ourselves. It sounds really beefy, sounds really
Nice.
good. Chef Boyardee and tasty. We're excited to get it out. We're excited to write. We're writing right now as well. So yeah, the EP is strong. It's a strong EP.
Awesome.
I'm very proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait. It's gonna be a fun party.
September 23rd.
Heck yeah.
We'll be there. I'll be there.
I'll be there. Yeah, I don't have the kids that weekend.
You're like, I'll be there. I don't know. I think I'll be there too. I think I'll be there.
Nate, you gonna be there?
Hopefully.
If you're not there, I'm not
I
there.
freaking better be.
Yeah.
You better be.
I had to miss a show for the first time, like last weekend or a couple weekends
Like
ago,
last weekend.
and I was like depressed. It sucked.
Just
I hated it,
FOMO. We've got it.
but it was
we've,
cool.
We've got it to where it's the 4 of us, but we can kind of like last night where Brandon didn't make it, but
Sure.
we could still rock with the 3 of us. So
Absolutely.
and then this, like what we'll do today, jamming out here, we can do with the 2 of us, anything that functions. And then if I'm alone, I just play acoustic guitar because I wrote most of these songs. It's weird. And that's why I'm excited to move forward and jam out with each other and kind of just write some songs together with the band the way that
Sure.
it is. So
It's cool that some of your songs live in like 4 or 5 different versions just because of
Yeah.
the way you guys play it. I'm like,
yeah, which is, I like that.
yeah.
And I will say, like this time around, I think because I like our dynamic the most, I like the way the songs sound the most. I'm having the most fun and I have the most satisfaction in what we're doing right now than I've ever had before.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of shows or a lot of things that I was doing was always feeling disappointment. At the same time, that's a boundary I think I must have made in myself as coming of age, being in my 30s and being like, oh, these feelings that I'm having of disappointment are actually me being uncomfortable with the band dynamic.
No, yeah.
Didn't realize that, like just boundaries as in general. Because as human beings, that's just how we work with people in general. We don't understand. We just want to make things work, and especially when you're in a band,
Yeah, I can't imagine that with
you want to
different
do
personalities.
anything to make it work, to keep going. So
Yeah.
it's nice to meet people where I'm like, you know what? I finally feel like I'm not just trying to survive the band and the band's just trying to survive. The band feels like it's got a future in just like because we love hanging out with each
Yeah.
other and that we want to just like be doing it.
Yeah. That's just do they
Do
yeah,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
do
You
it.
guys you do mesh really well together.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's the-
unbelievably.
Yeah, I was like, the point of doing it is to do it because we want to, not because we have to. So
It makes a big difference, doesn't it?
yeah,
I mean-
it sounds different
Yeah,
because that's it. Like that's it. That's chemistry. You can't fake that.
right.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same
You
thing.
don't need to.
Same thing with this guy having to do 100. You know, our personalities are quite opposite.
Yeah.
So there are times when this thing, like we've been friends for fucking 3 decades and never really fought it out. This thing brings out a little bit of that every once in a while, you know.
That's good though.
First time ever, yeah.
Yeah,
A little
it's
bit.
like, but
Pushes the relationship.
yeah. Well, it makes this better too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you make it through it. You always do. We're on the same goal
Right.
at the end, so.
And that, constantly reminding yourself of that.
yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. So I can't imagine you had
add
you
more
add more
personalities.
like every member you add is just another. Okay, how do I navigate this one? And you know, how does he navigate?
I mean, yeah, that's how we spent. That's kind of how we got to the 4 of us. Because when I first moved home, we had tried a few different people, and I like for some reason was really, really resistant to playing drums and singing at first. But I didn't focus on vocals as much as I'd ever wanted to in this band. So we had a few drummers the first couple of months before I was drumming and singing a couple months ago, just so I could just feel like a leader almost, you know, kind of wiggle out and maybe it was just like wanting to have some lead singer syndrome or something like that, or my ideation of being like, I want to be like Incubus, which is fine. That's okay. I still want to be Incubus, and I can admit that. But it just always comes back down to me playing drums and singing because it makes the most sense, and it just sounds like the Suitcase.
The Suitcase. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
And sometimes we're really resistant to hard work. And playing drums and singing is definitely a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
But these guys have really stepped up to the plate when I'm like, hey, you know, like Todd and Nate and Brandon, asking them to be like, hey, can you do some stage banter? Can you guys interact with each other? Because like there's gonna be times where I just need to drink like a whole bottle of water after playing a song because I just, you okay?
Yeah, I don't want to knock a picture off the wall.
That's it. Yeah. No.
I'm known for spilling stuff during the podcast. So the last thing I need to do is knock that off.
Breaking stuff.
Like Chad, I'm sorry we didn't remove the pictures beforehand because we accidentally broke one.
I'll blur him on the interwebs.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
What are we gonna hear today? What are you thinking with your?
We got this little setup, setup you can't see because there's a table. But we're thinking of doing Strawberry Washington because we've been having fun doing that one. That won't be on the EP, but we're gonna do a live version of that song probably from Domer's place because he's got this really nice organ and some stuff. But we played that song last night. We've been having a lot of fun playing that song. The band wrote that song after we found an identification in Milwaukee after a festival, and we were all feeling very good. And we were walking through an alleyway because that's what you do when you feel good. You walk through alleyways with your friends, feeling good, and you go to really not sketchy places at all. You're just feeling good with your friends, walking through alleyways.
Nothing can happen to me now.
No, nothing. What could go wrong? So we found this identification on the ground, and this lady's name was Strawberry Washington, and we decided to write a song that had nothing to do with this fictitious, it was just a fiction story and crazy stuff. And
so the story's fiction, but the name is
real. Yes.
Did you ever find Strawberry Washington?
I mean, I never have, but there was once a fan that came to a show and had some unfortunate news about her back history and some evictions and some things that you're just like, oh wow, but in the song we kill her, so I think it's better to be evicted out of an apartment rather than being evicted out of life.
That's true.
So but we like playing that song, and then we'll probably play Voodoo Chicken, which Voodoo Chicken is going to be the last song on the EP, the big ender. And I think Voodoo Chicken has been one of my favorite songs to play with everybody. And like these guys like to sing a lot with me too. And it just feels like a good collective. The song's got a cool pump to it. It's just like a punk rock meets like Pixies kind of garage vibe.
Right.
So doing
Nice.
that tune, and yeah, I don't know.
I like it.
We've just been like, it's been fun to like rehash some of these songs that we played a lot, almost 13 years ago.
years ago. Isn't that
Yeah, I'm
crazy?
like, it's a teenager at this point, the cute little band. Well, fucking teenager.
I was gonna say the teenage years.
The band's starting to
What?
smoke weed. Shit. Damn it. I better show it what's up. But yeah, it's just been fun to redo some of these things and just make them. At the same time, we've been playing music for a lot longer. We're all mature. Mature.
Right.
We're matured as musicians, not as people. And rehashing it has just been so much fucking fun. And the EP especially, because we've recorded some of these songs before, but like we're just better at recording. And I will find like this time too in the EP and recording ourselves and like working with Brandon, and the way that Brandon makes, like, that's half of our sound is just Brandon knowing how to beef it up. And I don't, so many people are going to be like, there's so much bass on this record. There's so much this, there's so much. We made it fucking loud.
Nice.
We made a
Nice.
loud record with
Nice.
a bunch of layered vocals, a bunch of layered guitars, a bunch of fucking stonery effects. It's
I love it.
I want someone to feel like they're sitting in Chad's,
Exactly.
Music
listening room. Absolutely. Like you're like,
Just melting faces.
yeah. And if
Very
you
good.
want to listen to Iron and Wine, listen to Iron and Wine and not the Traveling Suitcase, because we don't sound anything like that. But I love Iron and Wine. There's a time and place.
Right.
Time and place, but that is not what happens. We're a rock concert.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I mean, the whole, actually, I'm curious, how much is it a lot harder to sing when you're playing drums as compared to when you're playing guitar?
I'm actually more comfortable playing drums and singing now,
Okay.
and especially after. It's weird. I feel more comfortable playing drums and singing after we had a few different drummers, so I could focus on singing these
Sure.
songs a little bit differently.
Okay.
It was like it was just enough time to reassess, like just kind of refocus my
Sure.
brain and be like, wait, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, because there's sometimes a deficit in playing, and then I realized that and that's that thing with becoming older. I don't have to overplay. If I want to sing something really cool, fuck it, just stop playing the drums for a second.
Yep.
Let it come back in then,
Yeah.
rather than being like, oh, I should make this complicated thing and then sing over it. Like it's like, wait a minute. If you feel like things are suffering, then put them in the places they need to be and give them the room to exist. And that kind of consciousness can only become with age,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
not, like not feeling like we want to get in front of people and show them everything we can do.
Right.
No, we want to show them that we know how to write a fucking song.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's that mentality.
So have you changed up some of the old stuff
Yeah.
substantially?
Yeah,
Or just
yeah.
minor tweaks?
No, I would say that a lot of stuff has more silence, has a little bit more room,
Okay.
a little bit slower, and then a lot of the vocals and lyrics I've changed. I've changed some of the song titles even
Oh,
just
wow.
to move in a different direction. I would say like during the time that I made this, I was also in my active addiction. So I was like, how do I turn this around? Because I believe that everything that we tell ourselves in the mirror is a mantra, and we become the things that we do. And I will say it again, we become the things that we do. So if I'm constantly like singing these songs and like these coming from this place of self-hatred
Yeah.
and just like sadness, there's no point for growth.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Mm.
putting that shit all over my band, and then I'm like putting that out there. So I'm constantly kind of feeling that way about myself. And then instead of releasing pain and letting pain go, I'm just living in it constantly. And then it's just, you know what I mean? You're reliving it.
Right.
Because
Or-
trauma decides to do that. That's
Yeah.
where trauma lives. So I was like, well, how do we untrauma? Like, how do I still deal with trauma, anxiety? You know what I mean? Because I'm always going to put that in a song. We always put our emotions in there, but it's like a healthy filter.
Get
So
it out.
a lot of words I've changed around, and
Yeah.
and been a lot nicer to
Turn them
myself.
positive, like
Yeah, a positive outcome.
turn
Even though like some of these songs, like Mrs. Knife, that song's about being like bullied and being and misusing opiates because I was being like bullied by the school staff, by the kids at my school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but so there's nothing positive about that really, but just turning so not victimizing, because when I wrote that song, it was a lot easier when you're 25 and still drinking a lot of alcohol to be like, well, I'm not on pills anymore, but I'm on alcohol now and I'm still victimizing myself. So now I'm just like, how do I not do that?
Yeah.
Let's not do that. Because then that makes other people feel empowered instead of them seeing themselves in the song because they also see themselves as a victim. You know what I mean?
I do,
Like I don't want to do that either. This is a weird conversation,
but it's a good one.
I was like, you guys have had screwdrivers and I had that fun volcano.
Thank you,
like that
Hemper.
volcano, huh?
Thank you, Hemper.
Thank you. What are they called?
Hemper.
Hemper. Thank you, Hemper. That's amazing. Yeah.
Our
Fun
only
volcanoes.
our only tiny bit of a sponsor.
But they're all really, they make great stuff.
Yeah, I loved it, man. It was a great way to start my morning. The pyroclastic flow. I don't
That
know.
worked. Okay.
Yeah, it was a mouthful.
You can recite again.
No, never. No.
You
Nope.
can use it.
It was like a handful of pop rocks in my eyes.
You use that in a sentence.
Now that you're in there writing with them, you bring in anything that you had sitting around for years and said, hey, I want to try and
Well,
use this, see what you can do with it, or
I
starting
mean,
fresh.
I will. You know, we've like just started kind of like writing new stuff, and
Okay.
so you know, a lot of that hasn't happened yet, but it will for sure. I mean, we all have riffs and
All those
songs just laying around. You know,
I've been really riff greedy.
Yeah.
So I've been bitching at all of them, like, give me riffs now.
oh, I got riffs.
Yeah.
Risk for days.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
All over the place.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Written, yeah, just raring to come out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we've all been like writing stuff and recording our own demos and stuff like that for, you know, 20 years or
right.
longer in Brandon's case. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we all have libraries of music just waiting to be used.
Put them together. Man can jam. You can definitely jam. You're on it last night.
I can't help it.
No.
It's just what I do.
It's well, that's instead it didn't seem like anything was forced. You were just doing you, and it came out wonderful, you know, just the jamming.
And that's the point. For me as a band leader, I mean, the whole time the Suitcase has existed, out of every single member that we've had, out of whether they fit in or whether they didn't, I hope that regardless of where anyone's at, I hope they felt like we were just trying to give them space to be themselves and make some shit, because that's all we want to do is just be ourselves and have the room and the capacity to do that. Because I feel like when you give someone the opportunity to choose or just be themselves, you're going to hear something you never would have heard before.
Sure, of course.
Because you're not going to be able to front that.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a fake case, man.
Well, I know the Fox Valley in our area is definitely thrilled that Traveling Suitcase is back. Are you gonna be traveling to other states?
Yeah, I mean, we're right now, we are like, it's so funny because like we have this like, yes, everyone's very embracive and we're back
Yeah.
and it's great, but we're poor. So we have to start over again, right?
Sure.
So it's great to start over with all of this experience. You know, like I feel like really like grateful that I'm not like I feel smarter and more grateful on the business side of things, which makes me go, we're probably not going to travel as much as I want to because of the money.
Yeah.
And also the American economy right now is fucking insane. So for me, and here's the coolest thing about it's so funny because growing up and when you're in a band, you're like, oh my God, we're going to get in the van and we're going to go everywhere.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go to California. And I'm like, why the fuck do we go to California right now? Why would we go there? Are we going to go to California every other month? That would be so economically
Right,
you know,
right,
like,
right.
it doesn't make any sense. And
Makes
I'm
sense at
also
all.
like, I'm also kind of like a hippie. So like go gas in the environment and everything right now. Where I'm like, dude, we could not be. I was like, we cooking right now. We can't be driving that much. So my biggest thing, and here's my biggest thing too about moving away and leaving the Midwest. There's so much good stuff in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And there is amazing spaces that my friends or people that they know, or like there's so much stuff in Wisconsin alone. So my big thing is like, dude, I want to spend the next 2 years just finding more in Wisconsin
Sure,
everywhere.
sure, yeah.
Every nook and cranny and like every dive bar in a small town.
I love it.
Well, because
yeah.
you guys know, I don't care. Like, I don't care who you voted for. I don't care. Like, dude, there's so much shit that like in our space of humanity right now that we just judge each other for that I just don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
And I think that we just all need to kind of find our space as people to just like let each other be ourselves and just be together. And like, so like, dude, I want to go into the North Woods. I want to go into spaces where, you know, like people be like, why are you guys doing? I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because people deserve to hear good music. And I
Yeah.
think that we do good music. So
Absolutely.
and I think we're good people, so I don't give a shit who you are.
Right.
Like, let's just have fun together. And like, I just think that there's so much in this state that like I love small little Midwestern towns because there's just grit, there's heart, there's everywhere is going through the same issues, regardless of whether it's Oshkosh, Appleton, or Kewanee, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a Wisconsin town with Wisconsin people, you know, like there's no way we can't. I don't know.
There's a
Wisconsin's
lot
been,
out there.
Wisconsin's been really cool with the Traveling Suitcase, and I just we're gonna do some stuff in Iowa. We're like in love with Mason City.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
we love, yeah, Mason City loves us. So we work at
Nice.
this place called Bricks, which is really cool. This lady named Melissa, super awesome. She's like this. She's just a fire starter.
She's
of
a legend.
Yeah, she's a legend.
I love it. I
So
love
she's
it.
just one of those people that's like a trailblazer in a small town that's just gonna change things, you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
You've been down there. I think I've seen a couple times.
yeah, a couple times, and then this next time we're gonna go down this winter. I think December 15th. Yep, and then we're gonna bring the whole band finally and
Okay.
jam out there, and it's good. So
Getting
Awesome.
close to that.
yeah. Yeah, but I was like, but we want, and the thing is, more road thing is like we've got to find a way to get a band van right now. So that's kind of like our focus and just trying to kickstart all that stuff. And once we spent, and as time goes on, you can say like, man, in a year, but obviously you understand that a year happens really
It
fast.
does, right?
I now
Yeah.
look at a year as a couple of months.
Right, yeah.
You know, like
Here.
that's just not that much time. So I'm hoping in the next couple of months
Yeah.
that we get a band van and all that stuff. But that's just us playing our butts off, and hopefully we get more opportunities to meet people and to play more shows and just kind of keep rocking and keep getting to know each other.
You guys,
Yeah.
you need an electric band then.
You know, electric band.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's not gonna not, yeah, because well, I mean, hey, that really takes our touring down. You know, like we're not gonna be able to go very far. We can charge it, you know.
You don't get stuck up north because they don't have any stations.
That's
for
a
you.
good point. I don't know.
I don't know all these small towns have stations.
We're gonna break down with our electric van. They're gonna be like, "Oh, geez, you're not from around here, are you? Because we don't have any charging stations."
Have an extension cord long enough for you.
Yeah.
I
Man.
could
Yep.
tow you with my gas truck, but
Absolutely, absolutely.
I gotta give you.
Yep,
All right, man. Let's get some tunes, man.
let's do it. Let's play this tunes.
Thank you for listening. The tavern is closed for now, but we'd love to have you back for more fun next time. Seriously though, get your asses out of here.